right, welcome back to another episode of the Bank On It podcast, as always brought to you by Appalachian Newspapers. With me, as always, Regional Sports Director Randy White, Corey Vance behind the camera. Happy Thanksgiving week to everybody. Big week of sports this week, and just a good week to spend time with your family, get filled up on turkey, and watch a little football and college basketball. For me personally, this is one of my favorite weeks of the year. This coming weekend is obviously rivalry weekend in college football, and the biggest one on our radar is definitely the Kentucky-Louisville game. Never underestimate a team that's lost 8 games in a row, I guess.
No, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit last week with the Middle Tennessee game. You know, that wasn't a sure thing. UK jumps out to a good start, kind of has to cruise for a while, and then kind of hold on. Now you got Louisville who's struggling, you know, with all the stuff with Trino going on. Rivalry game. What else is going to make their season and coming in and beating UK? I mean, wouldn't that be a perfect bowl in the end of their season to take away Kentucky's potentially a 10th win for them?
Yeah, I mean, we're 100% going to get Louisville's best shot. I have no doubt they'll be fired up for this game. And, you know, with rivalry games, we've talked about it before. I mean, nothing is given. And, I mean, hopefully Kentucky's on top of their game. Something interesting I heard today is they're already talking about what guys may or may not sit out the bowl game to get ready for the draft and the combine. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully, I think, you know, with Benny Snell and a couple of other guys, it's only going to help them to stay out there and keep playing. But we'll see. And hopefully they'll be ready for Louisville and get a – it would be a great way for us to end the season. You know, just a couple of disappointing losses with Tennessee, but we always want to beat Louisville.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, if you can beat Tennessee, Louisville, Florida in a year, I mean, you don't win the rest of the games. We didn't get the Tennessee win this year, but they got the Florida win finally. Now you get another win over Louisville. What a great way to end the year for UK with 10 wins. Even if they're not playing great, that gives you a little extra confidence going into bowl season.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it looks like if we get this win this week, it's going to be a New Year's Six bowl game, more than likely against a Big Ten team. I mean, I've seen a bunch of predictions. Most of them have us going up against Northwestern in the Citrus or the Outback Bowl, so that'll be fun. We're probably, as long as Kentucky comes out this weekend and takes care of business, we should be playing a New Year's Six bowl game. That'll be fun for us lifelong Kentucky fans that have, you know, been a struggle. So, and then just jumping into basketball, the growing pains continue.
Oh yeah, team struggled last night. I mean, you know, my takeaways from it. I liked the look of Emmanuel Quickly out there. I thought he really played confident. For sure. I really liked when they got Quickly and Higgins in the backcourt and they bring that full court pressure. Yeah. But, I mean, you know, last night VMI shot the ball lights out.
Yeah, I mean, you don't – that was obviously playing these small teams. That's probably going to be the route that they take is just jacking threes. Yeah. And VMI definitely did it last night. Usually hit 19 threes in a game. That usually equals a win for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we took their best shot. Kentucky, it's just a struggle to watch them right now, man. This is a team that's growing up right in front of us. So Winthrop next, I think, and a couple of small teams before we go up against Seton Hall and UNC, and we start seeing a little bit better competition. I wouldn't be surprised to see VMI make a little noise. If they continue to shoot like that, they're going to make some noise in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. And that seemed like a pretty good basketball team, man. Kentucky's just going to continue to have growing pains. Actually outscored us in the second.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Kentucky's got to figure things out. They got to figure out their lineups, their rotations, who they like in critical situations. I mean, right now that's all new to them. So they're just trying to figure that out. Holding on to the VMI is a big win. You know, you'd like to see them cruise a little bit more to that win, but you know, a win's a win's a win's a win.
Yeah,
so.
We'll take it for sure. And I mean, again, with them hitting that many threes and shooting it like that, and I think they had a guy go for 35 last night.
Hit 10 threes.
Yeah, hit 10 threes. I mean, anytime a team comes out and shoots like that, you're in trouble. I don't care what the team is. So, way to go with them for hanging on. And then the big game for tonight, it's Monday night. Chiefs at the Rams. I'm looking forward to this game as much as I have any NFL game this season. You got two high-powered offenses, two defenses that I think people thought were going to be a little bit better at the beginning of the season, but we'll see. Over/under is a ridiculous number, 62.5. I love the over on that game. I look for both teams to score over 30, so we'll see what happens.
Should be a fun game tonight. I mean, could be a potential Super Bowl preview. So, it's fun regular season game. It doesn't get a lot more bigger in the regular season than this game. But I mean, if you want to move on to high school, I mean, right now that's the most exciting thing around here right now. Got two teams in the mountains left, Pikeville and Johnson Central. And, the way both of them are playing, they got a good chance to make the state championship game. Pikeville came out last week against Williamsburg and made a statement. They just cruised to a big win. I mean, 57-16, jumped on them from the get-go, never let up. Just impressive the way they're playing right now. Connor Roberts is playing lights out. Zach Roberts finally came back. He played a great game. That defense just gets to the ball, man. I mean, Pikeville is playing on all cylinders right now. They're just hitting on all cylinders. Look confident, look good going in. Got Raceland, that's the game, a repeat of last year's semifinals. So Raceland beat them 17-14 last year. Pikeville wants to get their revenge on them.
It's time for a little get back with Pikeville, and they are hitting on all cylinders right now, putting up 57. I mean, against a good Williamsburg team. And looks like Coach Mack has them playing and ready to go. He's going to have these guys are going to be fired up for this game. Let's go Panthers this week. Hopefully they can come out just as inspired, come out, get a big win against Raceland, which is, they just squeaked by.
Yeah.
They just squeaked by at
14-7. Raceland trailed a lot of that game, too. Paceville came back in the second half, got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Paceville led 7-6 to, I believe, in the fourth quarter. So, Raceland found a way to win that game Paceville beat them in the regular season 6-0. So, that was going to be a close one. Pikeville wanted this matchup, and, they got it. But you look at that Johnson Central score, they beat Ashland, who was, for a long time, was a number 2 or 3 team in the Class 4A, and they just rolled past them. I mean, it really wasn't a whole lot of work for Johnson Central. I mean, you beat a team 50-14. You're doing some work. I think they rushed for 530-some yards in the game. Joe insane. Johnson had around 300. Devin Johnson's right around the 200 mark. So, I mean, that offensive line, that defensive line, they're getting after it. You talk about mountain football. Well, that's Johnson Central right now.
Yeah, definitely. Mountain teams continuing to cruise. I mean, we definitely wish those guys the best of luck in the games coming up this Friday. And listen, if you're a fan or just a fan of football, you should definitely try to make it out to either one of those games. I know I'm going to do my best to go out and see the Pikeville game this Friday night. Looking forward to it. And listen, if either one of these teams get down to the state championship game, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, and, real quickly before we wrap things up, I just got to mention Belfry. Came out early against Boyle County. Looked like they should have jumped up 17-0 early. Then they start turning the ball over. They go down 14-10 in the halftime. Never could recover. They're right in the game. A couple more turnovers, but hats off to Belfry and that team playing against the defending state champions in Boyle County. So hats off to Belfry on a great season.
Yeah, hats off to all the area teams. And listen, guys, do us a favor and go like and subscribe. If you like watching the podcast, make sure to check out our YouTube channel. Go like and subscribe it. Share it with your friends. And we would certainly appreciate it. Have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your family and loved ones. So last week, Randy had a chance to sit down with Pikeville Panthers head basketball coach Elisha Justice, talk about a lot of things. It was an interesting conversation. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the upcoming season. We recap some of the things that happened last year. We get into some things that's going on in Louisville with Wyatt Battaile and Coach Chris Mack. Then we also look through some other things in this past. It's going to be the 10-year anniversary of when Shelby Valley won their first All-A State Classic State Championship in this coming January. Elisha talks a little bit about that, and then he talks a little bit about the holiday seasons and his faith and what that means, and just a few stories. Just an interesting kind of sit-down conversation with Elisha Justice.
Well, make sure to stick around and check that out, and give us a like and a subscribe, and maybe throw a comment down if there's anybody that you would like to see Randy and Corey sit down with and interview next.
Just kind of talk about kicking off the basketball season after Thanksgiving. It kind of gets ready to start. I mean, just kind of talk about things are a little different for you here at Pikeville. seems like half your team's probably playing basketball. Just kind of football, a long playoff run. Just kind of talk about the challenges early on for your team.
Yeah, we always have that target on our back. When you come back from a region championship, everybody wants to beat you. Makes it a little bit harder for us because we do have somebody who plays football. All 5 of my seniors play football. Then you got Seth Pugh, who's a junior, who played some crucial minutes for us last year, also on the football field. So we've got 2 scrimmages coming up and expected to play without our football guys. So we're excited to let these young guys go out and play. And they've been working their butts off too. So it'd be a different challenge for us, but we're excited about it.
Yeah, even when you do get everybody back, just kind of talk about the challenges because you lost a lot of talent last year. Wyatt Battaile. Not a whole lot of seniors, but some new rules, some new faces in the mix. You'll have some kids back like Connor Roberts and Christian Miller. Just kind of talk about how the returners, once you get those back, how they'll have to lead the team and get these young guys kind of prepared and up to speed and people finding their roles.
Yeah, we, like you said, we've lost a lot, and that's what everybody kind of looks at. Everybody tells me, Pikeville's going to be down. You lost Battaile and Rhodes and Byers and all these guys. So, but my guys don't look at it like that. They're just as confident going into this year as they was last year. And those guys you mentioned, Connor Roberts and Christian Builder and Kyle Watkins, that's 3 guys that's had a lot of experience, and those 3 guys has been a huge part of winning back-to-back region championships. So they understand what it takes to win, and they're all 3 competitors, and so we're going to try to build our team around those guys. And with this, I feel like we got some young talent that we can, put around them. And like you said, it will be a different challenge without Battaile, but we're excited about it. We feel like if we keep working, throughout the season, that we can still be in the mix come the end.
Yeah, and you talk about those kids having experience, but it's not just experience, it's big game experience, big atmosphere experience. Being able to play at Rupp Arena back-to-back years, triple overtime game last year. I mean, talk about how valuable that is because, those kids have seen every situation possible. They know what to expect, night in, night out from anybody that's seen some of the best players and teams in the States through their career.
Yeah, that's extremely valuable for us because, not only have they been to the state tournament, but we got to go last year and play in what was, to me, one of the most exciting games that I've ever been a part of, at any level. Anytime you can win a triple overtime game, the way that we had to do it, and come back from being 3 points down in regulation, the first overtime and second overtime. I've never seen anybody have to do it the way we did. And so, now, not only was it an exciting game, but they got a little taste of what it's like to win at the state tournament. So these guys are still hungry. Like that's a good feeling when you can go down there and you can win and get in that Elite 8. And, felt like we didn't have a whole lot of legs when we got there, but no, they're hungry to go back and win again. They like I said, they're competitors. They love to win, and they won't accept anything less than a region championship and another trip to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, and speaking of the guys from last year, Wyatt Battaile's now in Louisville. You played in Louisville. Just kind of talk about talking to Wyatt a little bit and how he's fitting in there and how he's kind of settling into the Louisville and just kind of if you had any contact with him and anything like that.
Yeah, no, he's doing good. I actually talked to him. He texted me last night. He'll text me every now and then. But we took the team up a couple weeks ago. We went and watched him play Bellarmine, so we got to take the team up and got to see him and everything. So it was that was really good just for him to be around the guys again. And we always try to go to a college game anyways, but now to see one of your old teammates that's on the floor, that makes it a little more exciting. So we just try to stay in touch as much as we can. And I'm going to plan on going back up to another couple games as often as I can.
Yeah, and just kind of talk about Louisville there for a second. Everybody knows you played there. Just kind of talk about Coach Mack and your assessment of him and what kind of guy he is. If you got to meet him and just kind of what you see from him. Right now in the program, I know he's signed a few recruits here recently for next year. I mean, it seems like he's got that program. Straightened out and back on the right path.
Yeah, it was cool. He actually invited a bunch of us back to practice the other day, and So I got to go down and watch practice, and got to see some of my former teammates and guys like Benny Crum in the gym, and just to get to meet Coach Mack and see how he what he's doing with these guys. It was really good, and I think he's going to do a great job. I think it might take him a little bit of time, but I think he's going to do great. You look at the success that he's had, at Xavier. He's been, I'm not sure how many times he's been a 1 seed going into the NCAA tournament, but that's a big accomplishment in itself. And, I think that he's going to do great things for the University of Louisville. And like you said, he's already signed, several top recruits.
Yeah. Just kind of talk about, going back to being here at Pikeville, going into your 3rd year here. When you took the job, did you ever imagine your first 2 seasons you would, lead this team to back-to-back region championships? I know you knew that there was a lot of talent here, but I mean, just kind of talk about that and that success that these kids buying into what you're trying to get them to do that early on. I know you have a lot of good coaches around you as well. I mean, just kind of talk about overall, all the kids buying into what y'all wanted to do, and some of the assistant coaches that you had that put in some work too.
Yeah, you always dream of winning the region and going to state, but to do it back to back years, not a whole lot of people do that. It's a lot tougher than what you think, and obviously you've had different guys make runs like Tommy with Johnson Central, and different cases like that. But it is really difficult to do, and so it's been great. But like you said, these guys they bought into what we're telling them. They work their butts off for us, day after day, and that's the results from it. And then you got good, coaches and stuff around you. We got Coach Newsom with us. He's won a lot as a coach and a player himself, and so he's been a great asset to us.
Yeah, just kind of talk about the region in general. Sometimes people don't see all the talented teams in the 15th region. But the last few years, it's been a really competitive region, really good teams. You got the, Johnson Central, like you mentioned, always there. Paintsville, the last few years since Landon Sloan has taken over, he's really done a good job. I mean, it seems like there's so many programs who, just keep improving. I mean, just talk about how tough this region is, not in, not out. I mean, there's a lot of really good teams out there, a lot of really good coaches as well.
Yeah, it is tougher than what you think, because you got Johnson Central, they're just good every year. They're always going to have a good team. Probably be preseason #1 again this year, and then Landon's come along with Paintsville, and they'll be in the top 1, 2, or 3 wherever. Shelby Valley, Coach Hicks has always got his guys playing extremely hard and got some talent with them. So it's a tougher region than what you think, and which is good for us because we like to play a competitive schedule anyways and get better throughout the year. So I think it'd be a fun, exciting year.
Yeah, even the districts are really competitive, and 59th district which you all compete in. Just kind of talk about that challenges itself. Shelby Valley is always a tough team up there. I got Cody Potter, a really talented kid up there who does a lot for them. And then you look at East Ridge, who last year they were really young and kept getting better and better. I mean, just talk about how tough the district is, because you've got to play those guys at least a couple times a year, and then you got to see those guys again in the district tournament. I mean, it's really competitive. I mean, just talk about how tough that is, but at the same time how fun that all these kids get to know each other and compete against each other.
Yeah, it is. It is tough. When you got teams like you said, Shelby Valley and Cody Potter, those guys who they knocked us off once last year. They always they compete so hard. And then you got guys like East Ridge and Randy's always going to have those guys, getting better and better every day. And you never know what they're going to look like by the end of the season. They gave us a really tough first-round district game this past year. So you're always trying to fight for that #1 seed. That's crucial. So we're always trying to compete for that. But then the atmosphere at these district rival games is so fun. I think for the kids, I know as a player, you always got for your district opponents, you got the student sections are going crazy and the gyms are packed. So it makes it a lot of fun too. So that's just along with the competition, just having fun. being involved in those big games.
Yeah, and speaking of the kids getting involved in the student sections, it seems like Pikeville the last few years, they've always had a really good student section. It seems like the last few years, these kids have kind of taken it up another level to it. And it seems like they're always having fun out there, whether they're acting like they're ESPN guys or whatever. I mean, just talk about how fun it is and the effect it has on your players, seeing all of that student section packed and everybody's over there having fun and rooting everybody on.
Yeah, like these guys, they talk to us. Some of the kids, they talk to me about it. And they just enjoy, being a part of that and being in that student section. And they have a lot of fun with it. And then when you start winning, and it seems like more and more people's coming out and getting behind this group of guys, and that energy, I guess, that comes from them, it just kind of carries over to the team. To seeing the whole, when you see the whole school rallying behind you and following you, and rooting you on, it means a lot to you to have that kind of support. So it is a big help to us, and we really appreciate all our students.
Yeah, and everybody's doing that right now with the football team. I mean, just kind of talk about, seeing that every kind of athletic program kind of supports each other. It's not like basketball kids separate, right? Because so many of the kids have to play so many different sports. I mean, just talk about how big that is. All these kids being involved in whatever sports being played, and what that does for the school and the community. I mean, it seems like the good things are going on across the board here at Pikeville with the new facilities for the football field, the soccer fields, and all that. And just kind of talk about how big that is.
Yeah, we have a lot of kids that play multiple sports. When you're a small school, you kind of have to. And that's one of the things that I love about being here at Pikeville is, like, these guys, like, they want to win at everything. They want to win in every sport, be successful, and everybody kind of, pushes each other, to do that. So it's been really good just to see that, and, just to know that you have competitors on your team. It don't matter what these kids are playing, they just want to win. That's the kind of fight you got to have, I think, in order to win in the postseason, district championships, region championships, and things like that.
Yeah, now switching gears a little bit. Does it seem like this January is going to be the 10th year anniversary of when Shelby Valley won that first all-A state tournament? I mean, I was covering it, but, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. And once January rolls around, it's going to be 10 years. Wow. I mean, just kind of talk about that a little bit. And if you've even mentioned that to Coach Boer or any of the other guys that, it's coming up, the 10 year for the first state championship at all-A.
Yeah, no, I haven't even talked to him about it. I didn't realize it, to be honest. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. But no, that's crazy. That was a great group of guys, too, that, we had a lot of fun together. We just enjoyed playing the game and competing. So, I miss that whole group. And it's hard to believe that it was that long ago. It feels like we was just playing and winning those things. So that was a couple of really fun years.
Yeah, I mean, and just talk about, after that 10 year, the next 10 year will be the second all-A state championship, and then the Sweet 16. I mean, that run that you all had, I mean, is it one of those, does it kind of seem surreal looking back, or is it just fond memories all across the board? Because I'm sure in the moment it was just all hard work, just so focused on the task at hand. I mean, just getting a chance to reflect on it. I mean, kind of your thoughts on everything with that stuff. I mean, it's kind of surreal that a team from up here had that much success in that kind of time frame.
Yeah, it's crazy now to look back on it and see what we did, the way we did it. Mm-hmm. It's just like you said, it's not common. And I think we won every game in the state by double digits. So that at the time, I think that the work we was putting in, we was confident. We thought we could beat anybody. We was just that confident. We put that much time and hard work into it, and not only that, but I think one thing that people overlook a lot of times, we was one of the best coached teams in the state. When you look at Coach Boer and Coach Newsom, I mean, these guys had us so prepared for every game. We knew exactly what we needed to do in order to win, and we really, I feel like, bought in to what these guys were telling us. And, it helps. When you've got people like that around you that they can put you on the right path, all you have to do is do what, listen and do what they're telling you to do. But like you said, it was just a lot of really good memories. Looking back on it, it's still just crazy to think that we done that. But at the time, it was just we was just having fun and playing confident. Just thought we could beat anybody.
And you did beat everybody that year. I mean, win the state championship. I remember when you were in, I think, 8th grade, and to me, one of the defining moments of seeing you develop was early on. I wrote stories about it in the past. You might know where I'm going with this, but you were in All A. You ever played Phelps? An 8th grader shoots a last-second shot. You're either going to win the game or lose the game. You missed that shot. I mean, talk about how that right there, to me, I remember I thought that might either make you or break you, because, I mean, that's such a tough spot to put an 8th grader in. But that seemed to be one of those motivators for you as a player. Like, you didn't hang your head, you just worked. I mean, just kind of talk about how big that is, and, to draw on experiences like that you can give to your kids.
Yeah, no, Brewer, he put the ball in my hands a lot. I really didn't look to score that much as an 8th grader.
Yeah.
I tried to, take care of the ball and run the show and get my guys where they needed to be and score when, knock down the open shot. But yeah, we lost that game and lost a lot of games, throughout my career. But that's the games that I feel like that you can draw from and learn from and get better. But for me, like, for him to have that confidence in me, you know what I mean? Like, he come to me, it was my freshman year, and we was going into the regional tournament, and he came to me, and we had a pretty good year. I still didn't really score the ball that much. I think I had, a few points a game, not a whole lot, but he come to me and basically told me I had the green light to score the ball. And so, anytime your coach does something like that for you, kind of gives you a little confidence boost and lets you know that he believes in you.
Yeah, and just kind of talk about also, we got the holiday season coming up. I know faith plays a big part in your life. I mean, just kind of talk about the importance of your faith and this time of year when, you got Christmas coming up, that celebration, what that means. And just kind of talk about that aspect of your life. I know you don't always have to get out there and put it on spotlight, but I know it plays an important part of your life.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest part of my life too. And it's one thing that, I try not to hide. These guys, you can ask my team, like, they know where I stand and stuff, and I just want them to understand, you know what I mean? Like basketball, it's fun. It's brought me a lot of joy. It's basically, provided a lot of opportunities for me. But I still want these guys to understand that it's not the most important thing in my life. And I think they do understand that, because, and just trying to, I hope that they understand what these holiday seasons and stuff is really all about. And, but we've got a great group, and a lot of these guys has been out to church and heard me preach and everything. So, I just want to, not only be a coach for them, but I just want to be an example, trying to be just a little light to them, that they would, not only learn basketball, but maybe learn a little